Hi everybody, it's Kristen, and we're here to do an update, which this week actually includes a baby, so that's really exciting. So here, he just finished nursing, so I don't want to shift him around too much, because if he gets too awake, he's going to want to nurse again. But this is Phoenix Arthur, and we're going to call him Phoenix. So meet little Phoenix. And when I say little, he wasn't actually very little at all. He was 10 pounds, 10 ounces at birth. So I figured that I was going to have a chunky baby, but I didn't figure that he was going to be quite that chunky. So that was really kind of unexpected. His birth was pretty fast and pretty intense, but it was a really good birth. I'll tell his birth story more fully. I'll do a written birth story, and I'll do a podcast on it, and I'll probably also just talk about it some more on the videos, but I'll probably save most of it for like the written story and the podcast. We did get the entire birth team here, so my midwife was here and our senior student was here, and we also had a Haitian midwife here, and I'll share a little bit more about her with you. But anyways, and then the photographer made it, so I can't wait to see all the pictures. I've only gotten to see a few of them so far, but I can't wait to see all the pictures. She actually made it before I got in the tub, which was pretty cool, but really labor started, I guess it was probably 10 or 10:15 p.m. when I had a contraction. I was laying down trying to go to sleep, and I couldn't lay down through it. I had to pull myself up, and Scott kind of, shh. Oh, hey, buddy. Say hi. Yawn. Hi. Scott kind of jumped out of bed because he was laying down too, and ran and started getting the tub filled up, and he called our midwife. He called her, I think, about 10:45 or so, and they got here really fast. He called her, and she said she was out of the house in less than 5 minutes, because they knew that my babies come fast. So he called her about 10:45. She got here about 11:30. Our senior student was coming from a little closer, so she got here a little sooner, which I was grateful for, just having her presence here. And then he was born at 12:25 a.m., so you know, from the time that he called, like an hour and a half later, he was born. So, which is not unusual for my births, but anyways, it was kind of crazy. I actually had a show, like definitely lost my mucus plug Friday morning, and then he was born, so labor started Friday night, and then he was born like at 12:25 on Saturday morning. So I knew that things were coming, but I hadn't really had any contractions all day. In fact, I called my midwife at about 8 p.m., just kind of discouraged, and she had encouraged me just to try and rest and to relax and call her in the morning if there wasn't a baby, but obviously there was a baby. So anyways, that's like the short birth story, but I'll tell you more of it later, because as quick as it was, you know, there's a lot going on there. And so he was, you know, he arrived 10 pounds, 10 ounces, a Phoenix. And I was super excited because I had really strongly felt like he was a boy, and really strongly felt like he was Phoenix throughout the pregnancy. I even had a dream where I felt like he told me what his name should be, because we had considered another name. And so it was really cool to meet him and realize that I was right, to be able to be the one to bring him up out of the water, and to be able to be the one to see that he was who he was. And that was just super, super cool for me. So anyways, here we are. He's 6 days old right now. He'll be a week old tomorrow. Oh, Phoenix. So, it's been a tough week. I think that the first week is just always pretty challenging, and especially it's been challenging for me with the bigger babies, because they really, really, really want to eat. So he was born Saturday just after midnight. All day Saturday was a really tough day. Nursing really hurt. He really, really, really wanted milk. He's got kind of a short frenulum under his tongue. I don't know yet if we will do anything about that, because he's not totally tongue-tied, I don't know. So I haven't decided, but I might talk to a lactation consultant about it. And I'll talk to our nurse practitioner about it. My midwife definitely feels like it's a little short, but I don't know what all is involved in being able to get it clipped. I have had one kid with a tongue tie, my 5th baby, but at that time we were seeing a physician who clipped in office, and she has since retired. So I don't know if we would have to get a referral, if my nurse practitioner can do it in office, if she feels confident in doing it in office. A lot of people don't. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know yet. Nursing is going a lot better, but that first day was really, really, really hard. It really hurt, and I had horrible after pains, which are like the crappiest part of giving birth, and I can laugh about it now because they're gone. But man, they hurt so bad. They feel like labor contractions after baby number 8, and they have for a few babies, and it's just so unfair. I took After Ease, which did help, but they still really hurt. And I think on top of nursing not feeling good, and then, you know, it was like he wanted to nurse nonstop, and 20 minutes into the nursing, like the after pains just started coming as if they were labor contractions at the end of labor, like one after the other, and I would have to delatch him. I actually decided I would give him 20 minutes on each side and then give him a pacifier, which is the first baby that I've done this with. But you know, it was just my sanity. And actually now I'm really glad that I did it, because it was only that first couple days before my milk came in that I needed to. And now he's like, I want to eat again. He's trying to eat his little fist. But, so Sunday, the second day, was a little bit better. My midwife came back to check on me that morning, and she had called me on Saturday night, and I told her that nursing was just really tough. And she got there on Sunday morning and asked me how things were going, and I told her that it was already feeling better. It still wasn't easy, especially because of the after pains, but the pain of nursing got better. I did end up with a little bit of a blister on this side, which still hasn't completely healed, but nursing isn't hurting. Oh, excuse you. There's a little bit of like a right when he latches on, and then it goes away. So again, as of right now, I probably would like to talk to a lactation consultant and just have her watch him nurse and look at his tongue, but I'm not certain what we'll do. Hi, buddy. Hi. So the rest of the week, the rest of his first week's gone pretty smoothly. My milk came in. It was like starting to come in by Monday morning, and by Monday evening had pretty much come in, and since then, you know, he wants to nurse almost nonstop still, but there's milk there, so it's not as tough for me. You want to say hi? You're gonna hiccup now. So yeah, so we've just been kind of relaxing. I'm in my bedroom here. Scott brought the recliner in here for me because sitting on the bed was really hurting my tailbone. But I've tried to make sure that I'm napping and everything, and he's done pretty well at night. I decided the night before last to swaddle him, which I had been trying not to swaddle him because I know that being able to get to their hands kind of comforts them. But I gotta say, I think all my babies like being swaddled, because we had a couple of rough nights, and I decided to swaddle him the night before last. That went really well. I mean, he was still up in the night to eat, but he went right back to sleep, whereas before he didn't. And then again last night I swaddled him again, and like I said, he went right back to sleep, even though he was up to nurse. Also, I think because he nurses so much, he like pees like a champ. So we've already switched over to my nighttime diaper solution that I used with Sadie, because he was just soaking through his newborn diapers at night. We are using cloth, so I'll show you that in a second. But what I've been using at night is a wool cover, an Imsy Vimsy cover with a flat. And the flats that we have are just flour sack towels that I got from Sam's Club when Sadie was a little baby. Probably, I think, a dozen or maybe 2 dozen of them. And I fold them using the origami fold. And then I actually put a mama cloth pad in them, which I don't have one, but to show you right this minute. But I made them so they have like a flannel core, and then they're just made out of scrap fleece. And so I put it fleece side up. against his bum, lay that inside of the flat, and that way it stays dry against his skin. And that diaper can take what he dishes out all night. My preference is not to change diapers at night as soon as possible because I want them to learn to go to sleep at night. His first several days he did poop at night, so we had to change at night. But last night he didn't. He pooped right after he woke up, but he didn't poop at night, so I'm hoping maybe that'll be done. His meconium is long gone, been breastfed baby poops for days now, and so we've been using that for the nighttime diaper. And then in the daytime, we're using these are newborn Alva diapers, and he actually had started to leak them during the day pretty consistently, just because he would pee and it would fill up the entire liner. Because again, I think it's because he eats so much that he just pees tons. And so I started putting a full-size liner in, which I have to stick the full-size liner in and then double it over a little bit in the back because it's longer than the newborn size diapers, but that's a lot more absorbency, and I think it's still pretty trim. Let me see if I can show you his front without him getting too upset. So I think it's still pretty trim in the front. I have it snapped down to the smaller setting because even though he's a chunk, you know, that's still good. So that seems to be working. They're back to not leaking. But yeah, he's just a champion peer. And then you can also see his little cord stump is about to fall off. It's literally hanging on by a thread, which is super annoying. So I'm hoping that it will fall off in the night. But we're doing really well, other than a couple troubleshooting things to get diapers not leaking. And he's sleeping well. This morning I took him into, I did a sitz bath for me. And just in the tub, we put the sitz bath herbs in the tub, like up about to my hips. And I took him in with me because they're nice drying herbs. And that was really nice to I had him supported on my legs and just let him relax there for a little bit. And I was hoping maybe the herbs, once they dried some, would help his cord fall the rest of the way off. Oh. Oh. And as you can see, it's got tons of hair. Okay. We won't talk for too much longer. Because as you can see, he thinks that he's starving. Even though we nursed just before I started the video. So yeah, I think that we are doing really well. Tomorrow we'll venture back out front again. Still take it easy for another week, pretty much just sitting. But we'll be out in the hustle and the bustle of the family. I don't know yet if I'll try and work on getting him to take a nap in here or not. So far, he's not a huge fan of the rock and play, but he did sit in it for about 20 minutes today while I was in the bathroom, which was really nice. And I'm hoping that I can get him to where he'll take a nap in it, but I'm really kind of shooting for 6 to 8 weeks. We have figured out kind of a nap and routine type thing, so I'm not in any hurry at a week old, but I would like to start moving towards that. Maybe just watching his sleep patterns and see if I can start finding a good time to bring him in here for naps, because ideally, with a busy homeschool schedule in the morning, it's really nice to be able to have a baby who will take a morning nap in another room so that I can do homeschooling lessons. But we still have a week off of school next week, even though I feel a little bit cheated because he was a week late. So I get, I had planned to have 3 weeks off with my new baby, and now it's 2 weeks. But we'll see at the end of next week how I feel. We might still take that extra week. Oh, buddy. But anyways, so I wanted to give y'all an update, and we're doing really well, and Phoenix is doing well. He's just convinced that he needs to eat all the time. And I'll share more with you guys and hopefully start to be able to do some more videos like showing kind of our daily life and all the kind of fun baby stuff that we have going on. But right now it's pretty much just sitting and relaxing and loving him and getting to know him, and what he needs. So this is Phoenix Arthur, and we will be back to give you an update next week.